Language and Linguistics. Course code EN for CRT 06. Semester 4 BA English. Let's discuss Module 1 Introduction to Language, Linguistics and Phonetics. In exam point of view, let's go through the syllabus first. Module 1 Introduction to Language, Linguistics and Phonetics. Topics: what is language? What is linguistics? Arbitrariness, duality, displacement and cultural transmission. Basic notions: phonetics and phonology, branches of phonetics, articulatory, acoustic and auditory. Organs of speech: airstream mechanism, pulmonic, glottal and velaric. Respiratory system, phonatory system, voiced and voiceless sounds. Articulatory system, oral, nasal and nasalized sounds. Classification of speech sounds, consonants and vowels. Criteria for classification of consonants. The consonants of English RP. Place of articulation: bilabial, labiodental, dental, alveolar, postalveolar, palatoalveolar, palatal and velar sounds. Manner of articulation: plosives, fricatives, affricates, nasals, lateral, frictionless continuants, semivowels, trills and taps. Criteria for classification of vowels. The vowels of English RP. Tongue height: closed vowels, open vowels, half closed vowels, half open vowels. Part of the tongue raised: front vowels, back vowels and central vowels. Position of lips: rounded vowels, unrounded vowels. Diphthongs, monophthongs and diphthongs. Falling and rising diphthongs, centering and closing diphthongs, fronting and retracting diphthongs. Cardinal vowels: vowel diagram, diphthongs. Tense and lax vowels. Phonemes and allophones: phone, phoneme, minimal pairs, allophone, aspiration, dark and clear l, contrastive distribution and complementary distribution. Syllable: what is a syllable? Syllabic structure: onset, nucleus, coda. Syllabic consonants: consonant clusters, abutting consonants. Suprasegmentals: segmentals and suprasegmentals. Suprasegmental phonemes: word stress, sentence stress, weak forms and strong forms. Rhythm, intonation, tone, tonic syllable, tonicity, intonation patterns, intonation functions. Juncture, liaison, assimilation, elision, linking r and intrusive r. Transcription, the incongruity between spelling and pronunciation in English. IPA, broad and narrow transcription, transcription practice. Let's discuss each topic in detail. Module 1 Introduction to Language, Linguistics and Phonetics. What is language? The Advanced Learner's Dictionary defines language as a system of sounds, words, patterns, etc. used by humans to communicate thoughts and feelings. Let's see another definition by Collins Dictionary. According to Collins Dictionary, a language is a system of sounds and written symbols used by the people of a particular country, area or tribe to communicate with each other. Language have so many characteristics. Let's see. Language is a chief means of communication as well as self-expression. Language is a system of symbols, primarily of vocal symbols produced by the vocal organs and can be represented using graphic symbols in the written form. Language is arbitrary. If language is not arbitrary, there would have been only one language in the world. Before discussing what is arbitrary, let's discuss expression system and context system. What is expression system? That is the way we used to share or convey our thoughts or feelings or emotions to others. In order to convey something to others, either we will speak out, or we will write, which means we will use vocal sounds or graphical symbols, and it is known as expression system. Next is context system. What is context system? When we express our feelings, thoughts, or emotions, or any other messages to others through vocal sounds or graphical symbols, they will receive it, right? Some sort of idea or object or message will be represented through this is known as context system. So language is arbitrary. The relationship between the expression system and the context system is arbitrary, which means there is no logical relationship between a word and what it stands for, because the same object is called by different words in different languages. For example, what is called a dog in English? It is dog, right? And Hund in German, Kutta in Hindi, and Patti in Malayalam. There is a small number of words that intimate the sounds of their reference. Onomatopoetic words. Example, buzz, click, thud, etc. But such words are comparatively few in language. In short, we can say that language is arbitrary because there are so many words in so many languages to represent a single idea or single object or single messages. But exceptional cases are there, but rarely we can find such words like buzz, click, thud, etc. And those words are known as onomatopoetic words. Language exhibits structure. Languages are structured or patterned at two levels, at the level of sounds and at the level of words. This property of language is referred to by Charles Hockett as duality of structure. Human languages are structure dependent. The same words arranged in different ways convey different messages. Every language has a limited number of speech sounds, and the total number of words in a language also can be listed. But the number of sentences in a language is infinite. Language is a system of systems. Thus, we have the systems of phonology, morphology, syntax, etc., each of which has subdivisions within it. Language is a totality made up of elements or units, can be arranged or rearranged in specific ways. Language is not genetically transmitted but acquired from the environment. Language is largely a set of social conventions and traditions. Language is largely a set of habits. A large amount of mental activity is involved. It's a creative cum habit formation process. Language is subject to change. Significant differences between human language and animal means of communication according to Hockett. Charles F. Hockett, American linguist. Duality of structure. Human communication can be analyzed into smaller units, but animal communication not. Example, my students are reading. It can be analyzed into smaller units, or we can be divided into smaller units like my students are reading. Here, students again subdivided like student plus s, students, okay? And the word reading also, read plus ing. But in the case of animal communication, it is not so. Animal communication consists of meaningful cries. Next, productivity or creativity. The creativity of language enables man to produce and understand an infinite number of sentences. On the other hand, animal communication has hardly any creativity. There cannot be find any creativity from the part of animal communication or from the animal communication. The signals of human language allows a variety of combinations and make the language highly productive. Interchangeability. The same human being can be both a producer and a receiver of message, which means speaker and listener. Most animal systems of communication don't have this feature. Next, displacement. Human language is context-free, while animal communication is context-bound. Language has the property to be displaced in space or in time. It is possible to human beings to talk about real or imagined matters in the past, present, or future. Animals can respond only to their immediate environment. Specialization. Human beings can talk while engaged in other activities like knitting, washing, eating, etc. In the case of most animal communication, this is not possible. Open-ended system. Human languages are open-ended. Human languages can be combined in a variety of ways and can produce new sentences. Animal communication systems are closed systems. New items can't be produced or added. Dynamic and modifiable. Human languages are not static but subject to change and modification. For example, modern English has evolved out of Old English through Middle English. So, changes take place over long periods of time at all levels. Animal communication systems are not modifiable. The above listed distinguishing features of language proves that language is typically a human activity. Varieties of language. There are 6 language varieties based on region, education and social standing, subject matter, medium, attitude and interference. Number 1, regional dialects. Number 2, social dialects. Number 3, registers. Number 4, spoken and written varieties. Number 5, stylistic variations. Number 6, non-native varieties. Language varieties can be studied in a diachronic or synchronic way. Language in contact. When different linguistic communities come in contact, it leads to socio-linguistic phenomena. Number 1, bilingualism or multilingualism. Number 2, diglossia. Number 3, chord switching or chord mixing. Number 4, pidgins and creoles. Saussurean concepts. The different schools of linguists in the 20th century drew directly or indirectly from his work, Cours de Linguistique Générale, a course in general linguistics, published in early 20th century. Saussure usually referred to as the father of modern linguistics. The Saussurean ideas influenced modern linguistics very much. They are: language is a system, a whole or a totality composed of elements or units. These elements can be arranged or rearranged in specific ways. Every language is a system with a number of structures governed by certain rules and principles which differ from language to language. Language is a system with number of subsystems. Lang refers to the system and rules adapted by a community to enable communication. According to Saussure, lang refers to language system. Parole refers to our performance of language. In other words, we can say that we all mostly communicate or perform language through the spoken medium, right? So, here parole means the performance of language either through the speech or writing or written medium. Language is a system of signs, and signs are made up of signifier and signified. What is signifier? Signifier is the object or the word or the image or action. And what is signified? Signified is the concept behind the object or the concept behind the word or the concept behind the image or the concept behind the action is being represented. The relationship between linguistic units are of 2 important types: syntagmatic and paradigmatic. What is syntagmatic? Syntagmatic, the linear arrangement of units like sounds, letters, words, etc., in which a unit derives from its combination with preceding and following elements of the same level. For example, the word clever is syntagmatically related with the preceding word the and the following word girl in the construction, the clever girl. So what is syntagmatic? Syntagmatic means a word's relation with its preceding word and the following elements of the same level, which means in the case of the word clever, we can construct a small sentence or phrase like this: the clever girl, in which clever is the middle word. So its preceding word is the, which means the starting word, right? And the following word or element is girl, or the ending word, right? So the logical arrangement of this words, linear arrangement of this units is known as syntagmatic. Paradigmatic. Paradigmatic is the vertical arrangement of units like sounds, letters, words, etc. These are the relationships between an element and other elements of the same level which might have occurred in its place. For example, pretty, dark, tall, etc. can occur in the context the dash girl. So what is the difference between syntagmatic and paradigmatic? If syntagmatic is linear arrangement of units like sounds, letters, words, etc., paradigmatic is the vertical arrangement of units like sounds, letters, words, etc. In the case of syntagmatic, it shows a word's relation with its preceding word and following word. But in the case of paradigmatic, it shows the relations between an element and other elements of the same level which might have occurred in its place. Word classes: nouns, adjectives, verbs, and adverbs. Word classes form paradigms since the words belonging to each of these classes can occur in the same context. The way the words belongs to these classes are arranged together in specific ways to form sentences shows the syntagmatic relationship between them. Another comparison is between the synchronic and the diachronic investigation of languages. So what is synchronic? Synchronic means the descriptive study of language, and the diachronic means the historical study of language. Let's see in detail. The synchronic study of a language refers to the investigation of that language as it exists at a particular point of time. Example, English of Shakespeare's time. The diachronic study of a language is concerned with the historical development or evolution of that language over a period of time. Comparative linguistics: the comparison of two or more diachronic description. Contrastive linguistics: the comparison of two or more synchronic description. RP, received pronunciation. There are different varieties of English like British English, Australian English, etc. With the British English, there are different varieties or dialects. For example, London English, Scottish English, etc. This variety of English language is often referred to as RP.